Hey, have you ever tried or ordered in a bar the classic sidecar cocktail? Well, tonight I've got a secret twist from the legendary bartender Audrey Saunders that you got to try. She came up with this cocktail maybe 20 years ago, and it harkens back to the cocktail's origins in the 1850s in New Orleans. It really ties together the old style and the modern style. It brings it all together. It's really a great drink. We're going to go through the history of this cocktail. We're going to go through the build. We're going to go through the story. And so that's what we're going to do here tonight on Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. I got tunes also. We're going to listen to Ornette Coleman, some free jazz. And so we got great stuff going on. So stay tuned. Tuesday Night Cocktail Club meets every week for cocktails and good company. Inspired by the Pro Bar, built for your home bar. No paywall, no Patreon, just good drinks, good company every Tuesday. So the sidecar variation that we're going to try got its start in the 1850s as a Brandy Crusta. There was a bartender in New Orleans. His name is Joseph Santini. Boy, look at all that facial hair he's got there. Anyways, he was working at hotel bars and other places in New Orleans, and he came up with this fancy drink. It's got, the original one had brandy and maraschino liqueur, Curaçao, fresh lemon juice. That was part of his innovation, was to start using citrus in cocktails, and simple syrup and Angostura bitters. Anyways, it really does get its name, Brandy Crusta, from the crust of sugar that he put on the glass. That's where the drink starts from. And then it has many ingredients. It was in, Jerry Thomas had it in one of his cocktail books in the 1850s. It became popular across the US, but it really died out just before Prohibition probably, because it is rather complicated. And that's where the sidecar comes in, which is a very simpler 3-ingredient version of this. But Audrey Saunders revived this drink at her bar, Pegu Club. And so we're going to go with that version. And let me tell you, it's really worth trying it with the extra ingredients. It's really interesting. All right, so now we're ready to build the cocktail. So it is 1.5 ounces of brandy, and it's 1/2 ounce of apple brandy. I'm using Applejack, but it does call for Calvados. I'm swapping that in. And then I've got 3 other elements. I've got pineapple juice, and I've got lemon juice, and then the simple syrup. And then it's 1/4 ounce each of green herbal liqueur. I'm using the Genepi. It does call for green chartreuse, but I am using the Cointreau 1/4 ounce, which is what it calls for. And there's the ingredients. And then I give it a good stir here. This is a vigorous stir. And stir for 25 seconds or so. And then I pour it into the coupe, which has been rimmed with some sugar, and I'm pouring it and straining it. It really is a beautiful color. And now it is strained out. There you have it. Now I'm going to try it. That's very good. It's very layered. You've got the base of the strong base from the cognac, the brandy, and you've got the pineapple notes come through, which is really unusual. It makes it different. The orange liqueur really comes through with that orange flavor, and you've got a hint of the herbalness. It's much more complex and interesting than a straight ahead sidecar. And I have to say, I did cut back a little bit on the simple sugar because I did rim the glass. Sometimes I don't. I'll go through this in my pro tip, but I really do like the half glass rimmed. I've made it a little drier, and the sugar from the glass really makes it fun, and you can sort of adjust it as you drink it. You drink a little bit of the sugar, you maybe drink a little less. You go back and forth. Anyways, it definitely has great herbal flavors, like I said, and it also is very layered. There's complexity there. You taste the pineapple, you taste the orange, you taste the herbal. You got that backbone of the brandy. It's really a great drink. It really is worth the upgrade. I highly recommend this. Let me go through my pro tip here, though. So, I would definitely use the bottles I have on hand. I'm using the Genepi, which is more affordable and widely available compared to the green chartreuse, which was in the original recipe. It also calls for Cointreau, but, if you don't have Cointreau, but you've got Pierre Ferrand, Orange Curaçao, or some other triple sec even, it's only, half an ounce, quarter ounce of it. So I would sort of freely substitute. Same thing goes in the original. It calls for Calvados. I have Applejack. And so, I'm using another apple liqueur. And let me just say something about the brandy. There's so many types of gin and vodka and bourbon and all of that. It's really hard to find an affordable quality brandy. When I go to the stores, I'm always looking for a low-priced French brandy. I really do want to buy American, but I find the California brandies really don't mix well. I think they're, lesser quality. And so I'm always looking for a lower quality, lower priced French brandy. VS, not VSOP, that's the fancy stuff. The VS is fine. That's where the affordable and bargains are. So that's where I would go to look. And so there you have it. That's Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. Tonight I mentioned we did listen to some really, crazy free jazz with Ornette Coleman. This is from the early 60s. If you're not familiar with free jazz, it's almost, some people it sounds like the band is kind of tuning up. They don't really stick to a specific melody or chords or tempo or anything. Each player is free to play as they see fit at that moment, and they sort of work it together. I think it's really cool. I really love it. This is a good record. It's not for everybody. I can't listen to it really all night, but it's definitely a cool thing. Anyways, Ornette Coleman, change of the century. Anyways, that's the Cocktail Club for tonight. I do have a request from a club member or somebody in the audience to make an old-fashioned next week. So I think we're going that way. And that's Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. Of course, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me if you like Ornette Coleman or you like my sidecar, if you got a great tip for us on a brandy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you next week on the Cocktail Club.